a Greffenstift tourer. At Franz Ferdinand's request, it travelled with the top down, very slowly, so the crowds could see him and he could see the sights. As the procession passed the first bridge, the conspirator there threw his bomb. Sitting opposite the royal couple was Oskar Potiorek.
The explosion came immediately after the Archduchess's cry to drive on quickly. I was sure no damage had been done to our car, and the Archduke commented very calmly, "I've always thought something like this might happen."
The bomb had bounced off the car, exploding behind it and wounding 2 officers and some onlookers. Franz Ferdinand stopped to ask after the casualties before hurrying on to the town hall. There, the mayor of Sarajevo began his official welcome speech. The Archduke interrupted.
Lord Mayor, what is the good of your speeches? I come to Sarajevo on a friendly visit and someone throws a bomb at me. This is outrageous.
So far, the young Bosnian's plans had gone badly wrong. Franz Ferdinand was alive, official security was now on high alert. Gavrilo Princip turned to go home, stopping on the corner of Franz Joseph Street to buy a sandwich. Then his luck changed. Franz Ferdinand had left the town hall. He should have been driven straight along the river, travelling too fast to give any other assassins a chance. But his driver took a wrong turn at the corner of Franz Joseph Street. As the royal car tried to reverse onto the main road, Princip came face to face with his target.
At that moment, I heard the crack of a pistol shot, followed swiftly by another, and saw in the same split second a man standing right in front of me being thrown to the ground by the people around him, and the shining saber of a security guard descending on him.
A thin stream of blood spurted from His Highness's mouth onto my right cheek. The Duchess cried out, "In heaven's name, what has happened to you?" Then she slid off the seat and lay on the floor of the car. I thought she had simply fainted. Then I heard His Imperial Highness say, "Sofurl, Sofurl, don't die, stay alive for the children." I asked him if he was in great pain. He answered me quite distinctly, "It's nothing."
Franz Ferdinand and Sophie died on the way to hospital. The people of Sarajevo didn't know that a clutch of Serbian army officers had secretly sponsored the assassination. But they made the same leap the world did, that Serbia had as good as pulled the trigger herself.
The pro-Austrian element in the crowd went wild. The excitement of the moment turned into fury against everyone and everything Serbian. Serbian shops, schools and churches were smashed and looted. The streets choked with furniture, clothes, bicycles, books, even icons and crosses, twisted and befouled, lying in heaps in the gutters.
Over 200 Serbs were arrested in Sarajevo alone. Local officials hanged some in the city prison. Many more died in pogroms across Bosnia and Herzegovina. The funeral of Franz Ferdinand and Sophie was held in Vienna on the 4th of July. Oskar Potiorek had already written to the Foreign Ministry, calling for Austria-Hungary to take revenge against Serbia.
We must take the first opportunity for a destructive blow against Serbia to give the monarchy a few decades of calm internal development. Serbia must learn to fear us again.
Austro-Hungarian Chief of Staff Konrad von Hertzendorf agreed.
This is not the crime of a single fanatic. Assassination represents Serbia's declaration of war on Austria-Hungary. If we miss this occasion, the monarchy would be exposed to new explosions of ethnic unrest. Austria-Hungary must wage war for political reasons.
In life, the Crown Prince had been a champion of peaceful coexistence with Serbia. In death, he was becoming a cause for war. The murder of Franz Ferdinand did not immediately set Europe alight. International tensions in early July remained low. But behind the scenes in Vienna, Austria-Hungary's leaders were planning how to take revenge on Serbia without getting stamped on by Serbia's powerful friends. Even before the assassination, Army Chief of Staff Konrad von Hötzendorf had pressed for war against Serbia no fewer than 20 times. Now he made his case again.
I expressed to His Majesty my opinion that war with Serbia was unavoidable. That is entirely correct, said His Majesty. But how are you going to wage war if everyone, in particular Russia, is going to attack us? We have backing from Germany, I replied. His Majesty gave me a searching look and said, "Can you be certain of that?"
This was the moment when what could have been just another war in the Balkans began to turn into the First World War. Austro-Hungarian Emperor Franz Joseph now asked the German Kaiser for support. On the 6th of July, he got just the answer he wanted.
The German government is of the opinion that we must decide what is to be done. Whatever we decide, we may always be certain that we will find Germany at our side, a faithful ally and friend of our monarchy.
Germany's crucial decision to back Austria was made with no care for the consequences. Neither the Kaiser nor his senior political and military leaders took any steps to find out what Austria-Hungary had in mind. It was an extraordinary oversight, because nothing in the Balkans happened in isolation. Europe was divided into two camps. On one side were Germany, Austria, Hungary and Italy. On the other were France and Russia. War with one could mean war with the others. No one knew how Russia would respond if one of the leading Balkan countries was attacked. She might go to war with Austria to protect Serbia. Then Germany would have to fight to protect Austria. The Germans thought the Russians might stay out of it. The German ambassador in St. Petersburg insisted Russia couldn't risk war for fear of internal revolution. The German foreign minister decided Austria would quietly settle with Serbia. The German chancellor, Bethmann Hollweg, was almost as confident.
The crime of Sarajevo was reprehensible, but politically it would have the positive result of making Russia thoroughly disgusted with the Serbs.
It was Germany's confident support that pushed Austria forward. But far from plunging the world into war in 1914 out of aggression, Germany was just nudging it closer out of incompetence and wishful thinking. The Kaiser was so sure no war was brewing that he went on holiday. In Sarajevo, the trial of Gavrilo Princip was underway. The court had plenty of evidence to prove that Serbian army officers had helped him, and with Germany's unconditional support, that was enough for Austria. She sentenced Princip to 20 years in jail, where he died in 1918. She sent Serbia an ultimatum. This document was Austria's excuse for war. It was filled with demands so extreme and insulting that Serbia could never accept them. But just in case they did, the Austrian ambassador in Belgrade was ordered to reject any reply as unacceptable.